Love, this for all my boss babe. Go do your boss thing. Loving how you boss babe. This for all my dreamers and my doers and all the entrepreneurs. Just believe in what you're doing and pursuing love. This for all my boss babe. Go do your boss thing.
What's up, Boss Fam? It's your boy DJ The Boss, and I am back with another Tuesday Live. First off, I have no idea if anybody can hear me. Can you hear me? I need an audio check. Somebody hook me up with an audio check real quick. Let me know in the comments if I'm good, if you can hear me. Sure, Comfort Cleaning, let me know if you can hear me. Testing, 1, 2. Not sure if I can be heard. I'm trying to get rid of this double hearing or duplicate vocals issue that we had the last time. So let me know if you can hear me. I want to get the audio straight before I get started. As always, this is one of the most valuable things I do on my channel is to kick it with you guys live and in real time. Hopefully I'm not talking into the wind. Okay, good. So you said we can hear me. Awesome. I appreciate your Sure Comfort Cleaning and everybody else on the stream. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Give a little, I'm gonna stall a little bit, see if we can let some more people join in. Oh, I pull up my notes. But yeah, today's topic, I want to talk about research, doing deep research. I know this is something that a lot of cleaning businesses honestly get stuck on it and doing research and looking things up. And I don't think doing research is a bad thing. Obviously, don't get me wrong. You definitely need to know what you're doing, and you need to have a knowledge base before you start to move around in this business space. And I know it can be intimidating when you don't have that knowledge to start with, and you go about trying to find that base knowledge that you need. It can be a little frustrating because you can get caught in this place where you're doing more research than you are work, and it's hard to be able to tell when you're actually working and when you're just researching things for nothing, when you're doing nonstop researching. And honestly, it's a different form of procrastination, honestly. Because when you're researching things and when you're looking things up, you feel like you're accomplishing something. You feel like you're actually doing something, and you're really not. And oftentimes you're not even gaining the information that you think you're gaining, no matter how deep the research is. It's good to look things up, and it's good to watch YouTube videos and listen to people in your industry and read books about business and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is absolutely excellent to do, but it does not replace doing the actual work. As I always say, if you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. And no amount of research you do is going to replace you actually doing the real work, the actual work, you getting out and applying. So if you read a book on something, or whether it's on sales or if it's on marketing, if you don't go and apply and practice those principles that you read or that you researched, it's not going to do anything. It's not even going to click in your head the points that they were trying to make in whatever the text, the video, or audio, however it was that you received this information. It's not even going to completely register in your head because you're only doing the research. The actual learning comes from the doing. The actual comprehension comes from you actually trying to apply whatever the information is. It comes from you trying and failing and looking for the alternative routes to see how to make this thing work, or if it even works for you. It makes it so much easier. If we were to both say, like, you read 100 books on sales, but I make 100 sales calls, I'm going to be further along in my sales journey than you are. I'm going to be better at sales because I've practiced more than you. No matter how many books you've read, no matter what those books were, who they were written by, yes, you'll have a base knowledge to start with, a good base knowledge to start with, but you're pretty much going to be starting at zero when you pick up the phone, and I have already made my 100 calls. It's the knowledge comes from the doing. It never comes from the research. It always comes from the application. And as you're doing these things, like you end up coming up to the answers to the questions that you had, those very specific and nuanced questions to specifically your situation, specifically your business and your life. The answers to those questions come from you doing the work. You don't you don't figure those things out. Those questions that only you have, or those things that only apply to you, or that affect your life specifically, or because of your town's laws, or because of your town's zoning restrictions, or because of the businesses and how people do business in your town, or whatever the minimum wage is. The answers to those specific and nuanced questions come from you actually trying, and you actually attempting to do the thing and figure out ways to get these things done. That's where the actual learning comes from. I think a lot of what it is you've already made it harder in your head than it actually is. Like, that's what over researching can do. If you do too much research, if you do nothing but studying and nothing but googling and looking things up and watching videos, it becomes this grandiose thing. Like, it becomes bigger than, bigger than it needs to be. I'm probably I'm extremely humble. Yes, I've done well. Yes, my business has done well. We've been in business for almost 10 years. It's been great. But anyone who's ever met me in person can tell you I'm extremely humble. I don't think that I'm anything special. I feel like because I was able to build my business, and I was able to start it from where I started from, which was absolutely nothing. I feel like anybody can do it. Absolutely anybody, because I don't feel like I'm any smarter or any more resourceful. I think I had a stronger will and a stronger why at that time, which was I was homeless, and so it doesn't get any more. It doesn't get any more important than that. It doesn't get any more do or die than not having a place to live. And I understand everyone's not in that place, but you're going to need to find that hunger. You're going to need to find that motivation, whatever it is for you, that's going to get you out of bed and actually doing the work. Because I promise you, the answers to your questions are in you getting this done for yourself. Yes, I can tell you, get paid up front and don't take net 30. But that's what worked for me, and that's how I was able to make it from where I made it from. Maybe in your particular situation, you will go about trying to do that, and you may be able to either get paid 2 weeks before, 2 weeks before you show up, or get half up front, half later, or whatever works for you, or find a net percentage off type deal that works for you, or that really works in your area. So, but you're never going to find that out if you don't hop into the market, if you don't actually start playing the game, if you don't start actually doing the thing, or whatever it is. If you can't figure out the Google ads, or you can't figure out Facebook marketing or Instagram marketing for your business, or YouTube marketing for your business, it's not going to it's not going to become any easier by you watching videos on how to do it. Yeah, you may see other ideas and other things that you could apply, but until you actually go and apply those things, you, one, don't know if they work, and two, never become good at it. You never actually get the skills to find out if something actually works. A lot of people think that you're just going to get into this business and do whatever, and just because you exist and just because you're you, that things are going to work. That's not the case. I was on the CBN live earlier, and one of the students, not to call anybody out or anything, but one of the students was kind of talking about they couldn't get the cold callers, the VAs, to actually close deals, and so they were kind of wasting money on these employees, these virtual assistants, making these calls, and they were wanting to switch to a different platform, maybe just running Google Ads. And great, fine. If cold calling doesn't work for you, you feel like you're a better media buyer than you are a salesperson, then great. Who am I? I'm not going to tell you anything different, but don't think that it's any easier than making calls. It's not any easier than cold calling. In fact, I would say it's 10 times more, at least 10 times more expensive than cold calling. That's something that's damn near free, and a system that, if I have a template for it, but that system pretty much costs you, $300-400 a month, 500 if you really want to overdo it, $500 a month, and you have a complete sales system for centered around cold calling and that whole sales pipeline. But it's not any easier than buying Google Ads. If you're not good at cold calling, then it's going to be extreme people on how to overcome objections on the phone, or how to get past gatekeepers, or how to actually close and ask for the business. That you're going to have a really difficult time taking in that data. Of course, you should be recording all these calls and all these attempts at getting appointments, so that you can train and address issues and address things that don't align with your company's values or don't match your process and procedure. But you need to have a process and procedure, and that you need to know that that process and procedure works. That comes from you doing the work. My sales process is so dialed in, and all the other lead generation services, their processes are so dialed in, and they know we can guarantee that we're going to get X amount of walkthroughs because we've done it. We've done the sales. We know for ourselves. We've done these sales. We've made these calls. We've seen what actually works and what doesn't work at least at a percentage, enough to where we can train someone else to do it the way we do it, so that we can expect that same percentage or something slightly lower or slightly different, or maybe even better if the salesperson is better than we are at sales. And that should be the goal, is to replace yourself with people who are better than you at each of these tasks. But you're never going to develop your company's own process and procedure if you're not doing it, if you don't do it yourself. Does that mean that you need to go and study sales and become a sales expert? No, it doesn't mean that. But it does mean that whatever it takes, you need to find something that works, whether you're going to hire a sales expert, or pay for coaching from a sales expert to help you come up with something, or come up with messaging, or your scripts, or however you're going to approach these clients. That's also doable, but you need to see that this works in your business before you're able to scale it. You can't scale something that doesn't work. uh, I guess maybe you might get lucky with, you write a script and it just so happens to work perfectly. But that's like playing the lottery. If you want to build a real business, you need to implement systems that work. It's the same thing for operations in your business. You're never going to know that someone needs to, plug a vacuum into a certain outlet, or wrap the cord a certain way, or put things in a certain place. If you've never been there, if you're not implementing those systems, or if you're not tasking someone with taking those notes and writing those things down and implementing those systems in your business, it's not going to happen if you don't make it happen. Um, see what else I have in my notes about anything. That's pretty much it though. But like, yeah, I think a lot what holds a lot of people up in the research phase, and I'm not saying don't do research, do your research. When when you can't actually be working, yes, that's the best thing you can be doing for your business, is to be on a continuous learning journey. I say that all the time. But that can't be all you do. You can't let that be the replacement for the work. You're only going to get the learning if you put yourself in those uncomfortable positions, and those places of pain. There's no growth without pain. So you got to put yourselves in those difficult positions in order to grow. So don't make it this grand huge thing to start running your business and to start getting clients. It's not some grand huge thing, and you'll realize that once you actually get to doing the work, that it's not some grandiose thing. Like, yeah, the first couple of ones are exciting, but after a while it just becomes routine. It just becomes what you do, and you realize that it's just another thing. It's just another day. These are just, just another person that you're talking to. Someone new to help, another business to help. It becomes, the mundane, as long as you get to it. But the longer you sit there and stare at it like, oh my God, it's this big company, I don't want to miss this contract, the more it's going to be like that. And, the longer it's going to be like that, and it'll never change to being easy for you if you don't start doing it. You know, if you start exercising today, in 100 days, it's going to be a lot easier for you if you actually do the exercise every single day. It's going to be a lot easier for you to do that same amount of exercise 100 days from now if you do it every single day. It's the same with anything. I absolutely promise you. But yeah, you're going to have to be good. You're going to have to get skills. And yeah, on the same note as the cold calling and the Google Ads it could, like I said, it could be 10 times more expensive than setting up a cold call system. And that's not to say Google Ads don't work; that they're the number one source of leads in my company. So, but if you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money very, very, very fast. Google is not like they're not your friend. They're a company. They want to make money, so they have nothing against you wasting money on their platform. They have nothing against you running a terrible ad campaign or setting up a terrible ad campaign. Yeah, they have some things in place, so hopefully you don't. But running ads is a highly technical skill to have. Like that's something you really need to know what you're doing. And if you're only if your only idea is to hire someone who knows how to do it, then you're in a vulnerable place still, because you're gonna have to pay them, plus you're playing whatever you're spending in ads, and that's not a bad business model either. It's just hard for you to, again, make changes or address issues, or to align things properly with your values and what your goals are. So, but you can waste a whole lot of money running ads on any platform, not just Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All these ad platforms. These aren't your friends. They're trying to make money as well. Yeah, it's great for them. It's great for both of you if you both make money, and you'll keep spending money if you're making money. But they have nothing against you just setting up a terrible ad campaign with no conversion tracking and no, with everything kind of on the tech side all wrong. They don't care. They'll let you run that ad and spend that money. So make sure that you do know what you're doing. But again, you're not going to get good at running ads until you run some ads, and that learning curve can be can be very pricey, especially if you're starting from absolutely zero and you really don't know what you're doing. That's why most people say not to start running ads until you have an ad budget that you're okay with going to zero. That's not going to kill your business if it goes to zero, because it's very possible that that campaign for the first month, that first month budget could go to zero, or it could be turn out to be negative for your business. So you want to be able to make sure your business is in a spot where you can actually stomach that before you try to go that route. But behind every door, there's going to be some monster. Like every side of business, it's not going to be any easier through any one avenue. You may be better at something, and I would encourage you to lean into the avenues that you're better at. But nothing is going to be easier. Running ads is not easier than cold calling. Cold calling isn't easier than email. Email isn't easier than doing social media or door to door. None of it's easier than the other. You just have to do it and get good at it. These are skills. These are skills that you have, skills that you acquire, skills that you hone and you perfect over your years as a business owner. So don't get stuck in the research phase. Get out there and do things. Do things. If you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. That's my message. Again, if you guys have any questions for your cleaning business, now's the time I like to ask them. I like to get into the chat and see what's going on with everybody. But yeah, let's see what's up. Let's see who we got in here. Assured cleaning, assured comfort cleaning. I appreciate you so much. Always on all the live streams, always in all the comments, liking videos and liking posts. I appreciate you so much. So thank you for being here. You are the reason why we are the realest cleaning business community on the internet, and it's because of people like you, and I appreciate you. So thank you for being here. Like we got I'm not gonna try to mess up your whole name, but Ephraim, what's up, y'all? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Carlos Sola says it's cutting off. I hope that's you and not me. It says it's cutting off. I did also click a few buttons while I was doing the whole audio test, so hopefully that's taken care of right now. Chopping off. Somebody let me know if it's still cutting in, and I don't know if we still have. Maybe it is me speaking away from the mic at times. Hopefully, I'm trying to get better at that. But yeah, give me another audio check. But if you guys have questions, cleaning business questions, definitely get them in the chat. I would love to answer whatever questions you have about running your cleaning business. That's what this whole thing is about. So, yeah, let's hear it. All Green Solutions LLC says, just did 3 walkthroughs for public practice. Hope I get at least 1. Yeah. Make sure you're doing some type of follow up too. Don't just leave it to chance. And make sure you're doing some follow up. And maybe try to reclose that deal. Maybe give a conditional close, like, hey, if I do this, then then can we get this contract started? Or what is their? Do you know their start date? Are you just you can assumptive close and kind of just assume that they've already hired you? But I do preach trying to get that start date as a primary. It's one of the primary pieces of information that you want to get. A lot of people may want to like close guard their budget, but the start date is usually something that you can pull out of them. And if you know that, then you can kind of use that date to put pressure on those sales. But even if it's not a high pressure thing, if you don't have that information, definitely still follow up. Make sure you're staying up to date with them. Make sure they're not forgetting about you. call and ask and see if there's any questions that you can answer for them, or find out what it is that they're waiting for, and yeah, and address that. But yeah, don't let it go too long, maybe 24, 48 hours tops, and then check back in with them. I hope you get all three. I don't see any reason why you can't get all three. They all three reached out to you, so they saw something in your marketing that they related to, or something that they felt like you could solve their problem. So yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't get all three. Erica Ventura says, I feel so dumb when I'm trying to learn SEO. Everything sounds difficult to comprehend. LOL. That is very common. Do not be discouraged. SEO is a very technical, it's a very technical field. People invest their entire lives like that. It's doing SEO is someone's job. That's someone's full-time 8 hour a day job in and of itself. So all in all, it's never going to be something that you do all day, every day, unless you just fall in love with it while you're researching and you're learning how to do it. You just fall in love with it, and that can happen. But it's never going to be something that you're going to like know the super deepest parts of. You just need to be competent enough. You just need to be you just need to learn enough to make higher end decisions, and to be able to direct the people that eventually will be doing this work for you. So just stay in it, keep learning, take your time. You plan on, like, I don't know, how long do you plan on having a business? So if you plan on selling it in the next, couple few years or whatever, you plan on building it up and selling it, then maybe cool, hire everything out, and don't run it like me. There's no right or wrong way to run this business. But maybe if you don't, think about what it is in your life that you're building this business for. If you plan on getting rid of it soon, then it kind of really doesn't even matter if you know how to do it. It just matters if the business grows or not. So maybe you hire it out and have someone else do it, and they take over it, and it's their problem when you grow the business. But I would suggest that if this is something that you actually want to generate income for you and your family for a long time, that you take your time and learn, and it's okay for it to take you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, half a year to learn something as important as SEO, which is extremely important. This is something that's going to, for free, generate business for your company. It's going to putting you at the top of the search results. That's a huge priority. Then when people are searching for your service, that they find you, that's a big deal. It's worth you taking the time and spending a lot of time, learning how to do it and practicing and applying. As you learn these different things about it, go and apply those things to your website. Go and make those landing pages. Go and make those search pages. Go and make those different product pages or whatever it is that you do, or location pages. Go and make those things. It's not super complicated when you get into it. Yes, it's very technical, and depending on, I guess, where you host your website, it could it could make it a little bit more difficult. But for all the specific platforms, website platforms, and hosters, and SEO tactics, there's a ton of information out there for you to pick from. So learn and research. There's a ton of YouTube videos. Find YouTube videos for people talking about your platform, and then go and apply those things to your website and measure the results. Make sure you're measuring your results. Use your Google Analytics, and be measuring the things that's going on, so you can see how these changes are affecting your traffic and your conversion rate, how much time people are spending on your website, how many users of that traffic convert into actual appointments or sales or whatever the goal is of those pages. But yeah, make sure you're measuring what you're doing, so that you know what how these changes are helping or hurting your search engine optimization. But Erica, best of luck to you. Don't be discouraged. If you want to take a deep dive into it, we can do a one-on-one. Reach out to me, and we can take a deeper look into your SEO for you, or even just some light education on it. So I think I have some videos on SEO you should check out as well on the channel. So yeah, go and check those out. Jada Bay says, "Hey, hi there. Just made it to the chat a while ago. I started cold calling today, and it was as though my mind went blank with every conversation. Was there anything that helps you break the ice?" For me, I spent a lot of time pre-researching companies before I called. So I never was the type to kind of just get a list. Yes, I had a huge list, but I wouldn't just get that list and just start calling the numbers. I would always have a list of a particular client type and a niche, and generally there were local companies to me, and I would look up kind of what their initiatives were and what they were doing as a company. And so I would always have something that they were doing within their company or something that was important or that I knew was important to them, or at least that they were putting out that was important to them to address in my cold calls in my conversation. So that was a big thing. Let me see anything else. Really, that's it. Just doing more. Like I said, just doing more calls. The more you do it, the less awkward you become. The easier it is to remember what it is that you were gonna say when they pick up the phone. I know some people have like weird greetings, and they answer the phone with their weird greeting, and you had a whole speech in your head of what you were gonna say, and then they say this weird greeting, and you're like, what? But okay, and you're all thrown off. It happens. It gets easier. It gets easier as you go through it. As the more you do, so you just have to do a lot of calls. But yeah, generally pulling something from them helps with at least breaking that ice, and something that either helps them, something about them. I like what you guys are doing with XYZ or whatever. Hey, I saw that you guys are trying to sell more of this, or I heard that you guys are having this event, blah 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 blah. Anything that you can use to kind of pull them into the conversation in terms of cleaning. Should have been said. So in other words, find a problem for that particular company and offer a solution for it. I feel like I start off good, then I'm like, yeah, so I'd love to help. Yeah, so I mean, you have to, write your script down so that which part of the conversation goes into the next part of the conversation, or how to steer the conversation. So because seems like you're calling without a end goal to the call. You want to set an appointment. You want to book an appointment to go, and you might be doing residential, but for commercial, your end goal is not to like for them to give you money. So it's not, you don't have to feel that much pressure because you're not asking these people for money. You're just asking them to come take a look at their space so you can give them pricing, and maybe to take the pressure off even more, you don't even have to work with us. Maybe you already have a cleaner, but I just want to give you pricing so that you have it on file for when you guys do start shopping around, or should anything ever happen with your other cleaner, so that you have something else, a backup plan to fall back on, and then you can continue your follow up sequence as you would any normal client. Um, but but yes, you should be always what you should be trying to work with people who you can solve their problem. If they have a pain point that you can address, then that's always what you should lean on. All right, make sure you guys if you have any other questions, definitely get them in the chat. I love answering questions. This is one of my favorite things to do in the world. So yeah, if you have any questions about your cleaning business, I would love to answer. So put them in the chat, going pretty much straight down the line as they come. So uh, let's get into it. Ephraim says, how do we get over the fear of making legal mistakes and stop overthinking possible pitfalls? That's a good question. I like that question. 'Cause that's definitely scary. If you don't want to like do something that's actually illegal, or I'm trying to think of what would actually be like illegal. I guess maybe putting something in a contract that's not necessarily legal in your state, or having a process that might, I guess, be outside of legal terms, outside of the black and white in terms of hiring or training or something like that. Um, but in the grand scheme of things, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. It's not you're not gonna go to jail unless it's something egregious. I mean, the things that you can go to jail for are pretty obvious. They are obviously illegal. If you don't, if your intentions are good, I doubt that you'll ever find yourself on the wrong side of the law in terms of business. It's really hard to kind of do something that illegal in in the world of business that will land you in jail. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, financial crimes are like crazy. People scam people and defraud defraud the government itself for tons of money, metric shit tons of money. And they get slaps on the wrist. They change the name of their company and they're back to doing business. So in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be, even if you got it wrong, you can get it wrong 5 times in a row and you still be okay. You can always start over. You can always undo. There's nothing you can do that's gonna be so bad that you're actually gonna have to quit doing business, unless you do something that's very obviously illegal and morally wrong. If your intentions are good, yeah, you won't end up on the wrong side of the law. I can pretty much guarantee you that. Mm. All Green Solutions LLC says apartment complexes. I like apartment complex. An apartment complex is, I don't do residential, but things like that we do take. But that's because I can come up with a price per square foot on locations like that, because the layouts are all similar, or very close. The work is going to be relatively the same. Um, Yeah, and so it's something I can come up with a price per square foot, so I don't have to do a lot of this. There's not a lot of math. I generally, if I've seen, yeah, if I've seen it once, and I don't really need to go back or do a walkthrough for those locations. If they're already a client, then it's something that we can just schedule people for. So it's really easy. I love having apartment complexes. You do have to have a good grip of them, like a nice little cluster of them, in order to make it work, to make it actually worth doing. But once you do have a cluster of maybe 6, 7 to 10 apartment complexes that you have exclusive agreements with, for those move in, move outs, it can be really, really good, really, really profitable work. So I like apartment complexes. So JW says currently cold calling for commercial and residential, out online for residential, and efforts to balance it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think that's a smart way. Uh, I never, yeah, I tried residential in the very, very beginning. I probably cleaned 1 or 2 houses, and I just decided that it wasn't for me. All of you who are in residential cleaning, y'all are some gangsters, because I just cannot. I cannot. Um, I know people make tons and tons of money, but I just like commercial better. Um, when I do close accounts, my revenue grows a lot more than closing a new residential account. Yes, it happens a lot less frequent than, I guess it would in a residential company, and you would get more residential clients. So I guess you get that dopamine hit of closing deals a lot more frequently in residential, and that's great for people who love that. But for me, I'm a whale hunter. I have to. I've grown to love partnering and doing business with the biggest brands and the biggest names in the world. I love it. So what excites me about business, because I want to be one of those companies one day. I want to have one of those names that are like the companies that I do business with. The Mercedes, University of Washington, Boeing, and Planet Fitness. Like I want to be one of those names that people recognize. At some point in my business journey. So anytime I get a chance to work closely with them, I jump on it. That's what gets me excited, because I know if I'm in that vicinity or in that space, I'm closer to the knowledge and being able to see how these things run and see how these businesses operate, and a little bit of their org chart, just by being in the building and offering them services. I get to find out more of their pain points and more of their the things that they deal with on a daily basis, and I get into industries at the highest level that I would have never had another way into. So I love this industry. I absolutely love the cleaning industry. It's absolutely amazing, the things that it can bring for you, and the opportunities it can afford you. So yeah, I absolutely love it. But yeah, balancing out commercial with residential. I never had commercial, but I think that's a smart idea, especially just starting out, is to have a little bit of both. There's no reason why you can't do both, and that can be your thing as a business. So Elizabeth, I'm gonna just say Elizabeth. Do you do contracts or month to month? How long did it take you to grow? I have been in business for a year, but commercial since November and still have two accounts. Do you do car dealerships? So car dealerships are a little bit too small. I did used to. I think there's some videos on my channel when we were doing like car dealerships and insurance offices and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I question. How long did it take you to grow? Grow to what? Like grow to what? I've been in business for it's been almost 10 years now. I've been like I say 8 or 9 years. I've been okay since I've been okay since what year two, year two and a half, maybe year two and a quarter. Um, but that may not be where everyone's dream level is. But I started as a homeless man. I started my business with absolutely nothing. So it didn't take much for me to be like I made it. Yeah. So it depends on I guess what making it is or what level of growth it is that you're trying to get to. It's different for everybody. And I encourage everybody to kind of audit your life and see what it is that you actually need. What is it that you actually how much money do you actually need to get through life and to be okay with what's going on around you? Uh, I get it. Everybody wants to be ambitious. Everyone wants to have nice things. I'm human too. I like nice things. I do. But at some point, you have to kind of be sick of what's going on and have to want to get to a place where you can do these things and have nice things and it not set you back at all and it be an afterthought. That's where you want to be. I I I needed it. It took me maybe two little over 2 years to get to about 4,500 or whatever. I think 4,000 a month or something like that. And since then I've been okay because I wasn't homeless. I had enough to pay my bills. I had enough to put a little bit of money away, and I've had no complaints since. I've lived and felt the exact same way about myself and about my accomplishments like as I did then. I feel the same way right now. So I guess it just depends on what you call making it. So since then we've done multiple millions in revenue. It's been a wild ride. Yes, we've done some things, but I guess it just depends on where you want to be. I have been in business for about a year, but so two accounts since November. So November, December, January. Okay, yeah. You want to get in, you want to get some new accounts. So it's been a while since you've got a new account. That that immediately makes me want to look at your numbers in terms of output. So I need the number, like what is your total amount in revenue of estimates that have gone out? What is the total number of estimates walkthroughs that you've been on? Like how many people have you actually asked for business? How many people have you actually provided pricing for? Your output is what I would be looking at. So how much output are you putting out in order to get new clients? So like right now I'm like well, my phone's ringing. We have people reaching out to us, but it's not ringing off the hook like it used to be because we're not doing any output. I'm not doing any outreach. I'm not, I'm not trying to send anything out. We're not doing a bunch of output, so we can't expect that a bunch of people would just be coming to us. That's not how business work. If you're not letting people know you exist or reaching out to people for business, then you're not going to get a whole lot of business. Just existing online that's only half the battle. You're only going to get the people who are in market and ready to buy, and that's maybe 1% of people. Everyone else, they don't know that you exist. A lot of people don't even, you know, they're not even thinking about hiring a cleaner. It's an afterthought for them. They're not even thinking about cleaning in their business. They need you to be the one to bring that up to them, and they're like, oh yeah, we probably should have a janitorial service come by, or we just moved in. We've been here for 6 months. Haven't even thought about who's gonna clean this place or do the floors or what have you. So the market needs you to be active in the market in order to generate revenue and to make your presence known in the industry. Yeah. But yeah, two accounts. You definitely want to be getting some more output, up the number of calls, up the number of walkthroughs, up the amount of marketing that you're doing. Maybe look at your SEO, see where you're ranking, see if you can get it a little bit higher. Send out some emails, maybe do some follow up. If you have been asking for jobs and doing marketing and reaching out to people, maybe it's time for some follow up. See if you can get into those buildings, give them some pricing, or maybe go and touch back with the people who you've already who you've already given pricing to. So, but yeah, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. If you get a walkthrough after you talk to one out of every 100 people, then you know you got to talk, and you need four walkthroughs. That means you got to go and talk to 400 people and wait for those four conversions. But we can't be emotional about what the numbers are. We just gotta work the numbers. But you got to have the output. You got to have some output. Oh yeah, but I don't do car dealerships anymore. The facility sizes are usually just a little bit too small for me to make it make sense with our current client list. So no more car dealerships, but it is something that I would subcontract out to whatever local cleaners are around the area. So if you're in the Everett, Seattle, uh, Bothell, Woodinville area, hit me up. I might be able to pass some car dealership accounts your way. So Elizabeth Lumley says, grow to where you can pay yourself and not have problems paying your employees. So yeah, that was probably about year three, to where I could take that same $4,000 home and and still pay my bills and still not have to worry about paying employees. But from just that doesn't come from just making enough money. That comes from behaving enough with your money to be in that spot. That means that for a while, just in paying myself, I had to behave with my personal finance to make sure that I have a savings. I had to behave with my business finances to make sure that should shit hit the fan and everything goes wrong, that there's still money in the account to pay the employees. And I had to save up those months of savings so that that money was in the account to pay those employees. That's what gives you that level of peace of not worrying about it. It's not because you make money, then a client fires you, and then all of a sudden you have no way to pay your employees the very next month. So it doesn't come from that. It comes from your behavior with the money, and your how good you are with your finances. It's not just, oh, I make $5,000, I can afford to pay out $3,000 in employee costs this month. That's no way to live, and something's gonna happen, and it's gonna rock your ship. And hopefully you're able to withstand that. But things like that can hurt your business if there is no buffer. Can put you out of business if you don't have like a buffer in between you and crazy stuff happening. So, uh, but yeah, it takes a while to save up, but it's worth doing. But yeah, it comes once as soon as you have enough money in your business savings account to pay your employees should something goes wrong, then you're ready. Then that's all you need. But yeah, it doesn't take long. It kind of just depends on where you are in life, and how much you actually need to take home. If you don't need to take any money home, like say some people are working a 9 to 5, and maybe you don't need to actually pay yourself, and you can just build your business. You get to hire everything out and obviously stay profitable, but you get to hire everything out from the beginning and just watch that money grow, that profit margin, that net profit grow until it's enough to actually pay you what you make in your day job. That's another way to kind of grow yourself out of your day job, or grow yourself. I kind of always think from the aspect of growing yourself out of the cleaning, because that's what I did. I cleaned. I wasn't working for anyone else. I just cleaned for myself, and I worked myself out of the cleaning and hired people to do more and more of the cleaning until I did none of it. But you can also do that same thing to work, build up your business, and that's how you can leave your job, is to put cleaners in those locations and make sure they're trained, make sure they're doing good work, and you stack up accounts, and you stack up that net profit, every account more and more net profit, until that total net profit is what you already make at your job, at your day job. Um, Once you get there, or a little bit more, then you can leave your day job if you want, or continue to grow the business, and just have the fu money waiting, just in case things go sour at the job. But it took me 3 years. That doesn't mean that it's going to take you 3 years. It could be, you can get an account. Depends on also what type of businesses are you targeting. Like, if you Get a extremely large accounts like the type of accounts that I go for. If you get one of those accounts, which I don't think is any harder to do than any other type of commercial account, but you could need 10 people tomorrow, and just by the nature of the size of the account, there's no way you could have time to touch a broom. So then you immediately have to start hiring, and you have a completely different set of problems. So it can be tomorrow, it can be 3 years from now. It's every business is going to be a little bit different. But if it's something that you want to happen, then you start preparing for it so that you're ready when that opportunity comes. So start getting your systems together. Start figuring out how you're going to train your employees to clean the way that you want them to clean, and what processes they're going to go through, how they're going to check in, how they're going to how they're going to clock in, how they're going to let you know that work was completed. If are you going to use a software operating system like Cleaning Boss to do those things, which I hope everyone does. Go and download Cleaning Boss, free trial, free 14-day trial at mycleaningboss.com. Or you could even schedule a demo and have one of our developers go over the app with you and show you all the great things that it can do for your business. But yeah, let's see. Esther says, just tuning in for commercial. Do you recommend cold calls or cold emails? I need to make 10K a month. I recently quit my tech job and I'm driving in diving in on this business. So, well, emails you can like they're like instant. That's digital. You can do as many emails as you possibly can. If you need to make 10K a month quick, I would say there's no way quicker to make 10K than to be cold calling, especially if you don't have a ad budget saved up like from your tech job that you had. If you have some ad dollars, then cool. Yeah, then set up your website, set up your SEO and conversion tracking, get some good creative and run with it and see if you can get some conversions. And then once you have some conversions, and you scale on top of that to get to your 10K a month. But if you're not in that position where you have that extra $30,000-$40,000 laying around to just build straight to 10K a month, then cold calling is the number one way to do that. Cold calling is the number one way to do that. It's gonna be the quickest way to 10K. I don't think either one is necessarily easier than the other. Like I say about everything, they're all skills. No one no one marketing method or sales pipeline is going to be easier than the other. These are all skills. Like I said about SEO, this is someone's full-time job. There are people who spend 8 hours a day just doing this, and that's for a reason. That's because it's a highly technical skill. Copy People spend their lifetime being copywriters and coming up with messaging and sales messaging and brand messaging. So have some respect for what it takes to be good at these things, but you still need to be good at these things in order to have success at them. Whether it's email, whether it's cold calling, whether it's buying ads, have some respect for the skill that it takes to actually be good at these things. And with ads, obviously the creative is always going to be the variable to your success. If you put, you know, crappy creative and a bunch of money behind crappy creative, it's going to do the same thing as if you didn't know what you were doing on the media buying side. Mm. Where was I? Brandon Roberts says, "What are the highest ticket and high frequency commercial clients? Offices? You would be surprised. So, I do aerospace facilities, which are 7 days a week, and they're huge. I do. I have a video. The next video that I have that's coming out. The next actual like vlog style video. You'll get to see like we do university campuses, which are like 200,000 square feet per section. Um, Boeing, I don't know how to explain how big Boeing is. Boeing's so big. There was rumored to have their own drug ring going on inside of there. There's like 4 cell phone stores in there. There's a couple of restaurants. Like it's huge, huge. So, but yeah, those are the type of accounts that we go to, like Facebook buildings, Amazon buildings. Like those are the things that need 7 day a week, and multiple staff. Those are the types of accounts that I go for, that I get excited about, that are huge to me. Um, uh, Mario, my homie Mario out in Detroit. Shout out to Detroit and the whole 313. And my guy Mario Kelly, who I had on the channel not too long ago. He does stadiums. He's does cleaning staff, commercial cleaning staffing for stadiums like the Detroit Lions Stadium. I think he has the stadium in Houston. That's his specialty. But you know, huge clients can come in a bunch of different shapes and sizes in industries. You just kind of have to think and open your eyes to what's around you, what's driving the business in your city, what's driving the business in your state, what's driving the economy around where you are, and some things will start to come to you. So, uh, yeah, big things that you can see, huge skyrise buildings, Class A skyrise buildings. Hospitals are huge if you want to go into that route. There's a lot of things that are big that are huge accounts. You kind of have to just be creative and use your wits. Who can use your service? Who can use this? Who can use this cleaning? What type of industry can use this cleaning? Don't limit yourself to just an office or to just it's one like a smaller type of cleaning. Really use your mind. If you use your head, you can think of things that need cleaning every single day and that are also like huge spaces or huge companies if that's what you want to go after. Let's see. As it says, I have a website, Google business page. I recently learned about instantly to cold emails, but curious your thoughts on this. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know about instantly. I don't think that's not a platform that I'm familiar with. But like I said, cold calling, I mean, email, it's a skill. It's a skill just like going door to door and selling somebody. That's a skill. It's a skill just like being able to create amazing graphic designs. It's a skill just like being able to know all the technical ins and outs of media buying, or a skill just like being able to record nice video or take nice pictures and create nice ad creative or write nice copy. Those are all skills that you have to be good at. So I don't think I think easy is a it's a matter of like from person to person. What's easier for you? Are you good at art? Are you good at writing? Are you good at taking pictures? Are you good at talking to people? Are you good at are you empathetic? Are you outgoing and charismatic? Are you good looking? It's gonna be something that's person to person. I don't think any one particular thing is better than the other because I've seen wild and crazy success from each of these avenues. Like another YouTuber down in Oregon. I can't remember. I don't want to get this wrong and mix him up with another one. I'm pretty sure it's Service Industry Podcast. Go look him up. He's been doing this for a long time, but he started off, I believe, as a window cleaner. But uh, but he built his company to multiple millions in revenue with postcards, with mailers. I would never attempt to do that. Not in my wildest dreams do I think I could have success doing that. So I would either be forced to hire someone like him and hope that it goes well, but that's not something that I believe that I would ever be good at, is making postcards profitable for my business or any business for that matter, because it's just not a skill that I am confident with in myself. But that's how everything is going to be with email, social media, anything you do is going to have that level of skill in it. Let's see. People Reddit says, I like this setup, DJ the boss. And I have you ever done post construction cleaning jobs? Been DM to do a cleaning for 102 units post construction. Yes, I've done post construction before. I've done my first couple of videos on here of us getting a huge post construction account, which is kind of what sustained me until I was able to get a reoccurring commercial contract. But yeah, I've had huge post constructions accounts. We've done 88 homes for Eagle Construction that they built in a couple subdivisions. We've done we've partnerships for an entire year was worth of work with different construction companies. Building houses and random rural places or uh, you know random new subdivisions that they're building throughout the cities. Yeah, I love post construction. Highly profitable. Uh, easy to hire for because you get to pay people a little bit more because the work's a little bit more demanding. I love post construction. It's still a part of my business today. I don't know if I talk about it enough, but it's definitely much less of a part of my business today because I'm always focused on what drives the actual business growth. And post construction, while it does increase our numbers and our revenue, it's always temporary jobs. So I don't like to focus like I'll spend some money to get some temporary jobs because most of the temporary and one time things are highly profitable. So like floors, those are one time jobs or once every blue moon type jobs, but they're highly profitable. So we do them just like post construction. They can only last for so long. Once the building's built and you clean it, that's kind of it. They're not going to continuously build forever. And but yeah, so that's what I focus on more is the reoccurring revenue model, which is the janitorial contracting, where we're signing companies on for 12, 24 months, 48 months at a time, so that we have that commitment and we know that that revenue is going to be coming into the business month after month for X amount of months that we agree on. But I still do post construction cleaning to this day in my business. Huge revenue boost whenever we get it. It's just I just focus a lot less on it now because I focus more on what's going to build that repeating revenue. But anytime I can get my hands on one on a good post construction gig, we take it and we're on. Esther says, "Yep, I have some cash saved up. I'm warming up my Facebook lead page, but to also work on organic traffic as well. That's smart. For sure, just grind. Thanks. I was just wondering if there was an approach that worked best, but yeah, got it. Thanks. I don't even remember what I said to be honest. But yeah, good. Glad you're already we're warming up your Facebook leads, warming up those pipelines. Uh, you may, I guess, I don't know if you're just starting out, but yeah, run some standard traffic campaigns just so you feed these platforms data. The number one thing that these platforms love is data, having a lot of data to go off of. So yeah, get it some that initial base data. Make sure your conversion tracking is on point. Double test that, and then yeah, start off with a slightly smaller budget until you start seeing some conversions, and then you start to scale that as the conversions come in. So uh, a lot of people think that they'll start off with a small ad budget, see a couple conversions, and think that they can just max out their budget now, and that the conversions are going to come through the same way. No, that's not how that works. So you start to slowly increase the budget to see if you gain or if that conversion ratio goes up or down. See, Ephraim says, has your team used AI to improve workflow? Is this something you've looked into? Not a whole lot. I mean, I think Maria might be using AI for some copy for certain projects, for certain like blog posts for the cleaning business website. But we're not doing a lot of output right now, so it's not a whole lot of creative being made right now within the company. So um, everyone on the media side has been focused on other things. So, but yeah, but on the media side, we've teetered with everything from Claude and Chat GPT, of course, and all of the different AI tools that are out there. We've kind of teetered with. I myself, even on this channel, all of the shorts that are made are like AI created shorts from these live streams. So I think that's Opus Clip that does that. But yeah, we use AI for a lot of stuff on the media side. But on the cleaning business side, we just haven't had a reason to. I'm sure we would if we were doing a lot more outreach and output right now, but we're just not. Demon Jack Gaming says, I want to make a website for my business. Do you know any trustworthy person who can help me with this in minimum charges? I mean, you can always go to a freelance website, the Fiverrs, the Upworks, and stuff like that, and see if you can find a match and interview some people, and see if you can find someone that way. But I would suggest just don't use something that you can't go and make changes to, and that you can't go and and own yourself. If you can't log into it, like you don't own it. So I wouldn't have someone just completely make it for you. I would sign up to a platform and then hire someone to work on that platform for you underneath you know, give them access to the website in order to make changes. But definitely create something that you own, that you have access to, and quite frankly, something that you know how to use. So don't try to go and get too fancy before you're able to. Don't try to have a, you know, super extravagant WordPress website, uh, you know, when you could and never know how to do and make any changes. When you probably could just go to like Wix or Squarespace, something that's more drag and drop, and have an easier time and be able to make changes yourself and do things yourself. So yeah, yeah, just keep that in mind. Yeah, we had an hour today, man. I appreciate you guys for being here. Some people have read it. X. Let's see. We'll answer a couple more questions and get up out of here. So when you're doing cold emailing, how do you find the key decision maker in the company? That if I'm doing cold email, I probably purchased a list that has that as that has like a position as a requirement or as a filter. Uh, Aaron didn't says, "Hey, what up, boss? I see you." But yeah, so I'm not. I wouldn't have a list that's just a bunch of random people in the company. I mean, if I'll either have tech spend the time finding who the best person in the company for this is, at least someone uh, on the same level, executive level as the decision maker, facility manager, or what have you, to find out those emails. But I think if you have a bunch of emails that are not the decision makers or at least executive level emails, then you probably have a bad list. Um, but yeah, I'm instructing techs to actually go the extra step and go to these companies' websites, see if they can actually find out who this person is before they even reach out to them. Um, or whatever list source you're using may have to step up the quality. It may be worth paying a little bit more to buy a more updated or more relevant list for your, you know, to do your cold emails. But yeah, but you shouldn't be like having lists that are just like that, emails that are just like info@company.com or secretary@thiscompany.com. You should either have a name or a position within that company that's related to something that can get you in the building, whether it's facility manager or operations manager or maintenance at company.com or what have you. Those should be the type of emails that you should have in your list. Uh, the list quality is more important than you having a bunch of emails to reach out to. So make sure your list and your leads are of quality, especially in email. You need to have the, you know, the utmost quality list because it's already hard to get high open rates in email. So you would definitely want to make sure the attempts that you're making are actually worth it. But yeah, that's it, man. I appreciate you guys for hopping on this Tuesday live. This has been a real one. I like this one. Got quite a bit of people on here. I guess I'll give a couple more seconds to see if anybody has any other questions for their cleaning business. We got a full minute left, 1 full minute, and then we're gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys for being here, checking out the live stream, supporting the channel. Again, if you don't have a way to operate your cleaning business, Cleaning Boss is dope. Somebody asked me the other day, what was the difference between Cleaning Boss and say like a Booking Koala? The difference between Cleaning Boss and Booking Koala is the same as it is for most other apps that are designed for cleaning business out there. Those are customer facing sales apps. This is something for you to run your cleaning business, the operations of your cleaning business. So a Booking Koala or any of most of these other apps, they help you with, you know, doing estimates and giving quotes and telling your customer their price and stuff like that. This is something that's for you. This keeps track of your employees and your locations and the tasks that happen within those locations. Basically, it's a 30,000 foot view of what's happening in your business and how the work is being carried out on a day-to-day basis. And so it gives you the ability to be able to see that the work is being carried out and by who, and to be able to assign that work to different people and not have to be at all of these different locations to make sure that these things are going on. You know, if your employees are trustworthy and doing their thing, and if they're not, there's accountability tech to aid that, like before and after pictures, geofencing, all kind of stuff. But yes, from scheduling to timekeeping, it's an operations app. You know, task list. Yeah, It's for your cleaning business operation. So it's not client facing yet. There is an enterprise version that is coming out that will be client facing. So your clients will be able to log in and see what's on the checklist and see what got done and what didn't get done, or what days certain things happen on. But for right now, that's all internal, and it's all for you, the business owner, or your admins, or whoever your supervisors are, to be able to run the business. Assign cleaners to shifts. See a full calendar. Everyone can see their full calendar and the shifts that they have coming up, the locations that they need to clean, how to get there, what to do when they get there, pictures so they know what it looks like when they get there, so they're not lost. And checklists so they know exactly what to do, even if it's step by step when they're in these locations. So that's what Cleaning Boss is, and you can try it for absolutely free for the next 14 days at www.mycleaningboss.com. I will greatly appreciate it. It's kind of the only thing that I really am pushing on this channel. Yes, I do consultations. Yes, I have like downloadable documents and stuff like that. If you wanted to go check those out, the links are in the description. But the biggest thing that I am trying to push right now is that everyone use Cleaning Boss. This is really what helps you systematize your business. The other stuff, I don't even like. It almost doesn't even matter to systematize things like sales like in commercial. Like if there's a big job coming, you're guaranteed you're going to want to close it. So unless you're like out of town and it happens, yes, it's good to have systems in place so that other people can kind of take those things. But when Mercedes or Boeing or Planet Fitness or University of Washington, any of those big companies call me, I want to go on that call. I'm going on that sales call because I'm getting that business. I'm going to close that deal. Like, because the buck stops with you. Like, it's your fault. Whatever happens in the business is your fault. If you have an opportunity and you don't get it, that's your fault. If you put someone else in the position to be able to close a deal or to impress a client and they don't, that's on you. That's you. You don't get the business. Your company doesn't grow. So everything falls on you. So in terms of systematizing getting you out of everything, I don't ever want to be out of everything. I'm always going to have my hands in some part of the business to be able to help my business grow. But all the day-to-day stuff, those small tasks, actually cleaning, actually doing checklists, scheduling cleaners and stuff like that, all that stuff can be systematized. Even how you do things, if you have good training videos or an LMS software, all that stuff can be systematized. But growing the business, making sure more revenue comes into the business, that's my job. Making sure there is a system for people to follow, that's my job. Implementing the tools that make it easier for people to do their job. And so tools like Cleaning Boss and making sure they have things like that in the company. That's my job as the CEO. That's what I do, and that's what I focus on. So really love Cleaning Boss. Hope you guys go check it out. Again, 14 days for absolutely free, just for you to try it out. I really hope you do. Hope you guys love it at www.mycleaningboss.com. I want to apologize to the podcast listeners on Apple and Spotify and all of that stuff. I've been slacking on actually uploading these episodes to the podcast. I will try to get to that today. As soon as I finish editing the next video for this channel. But I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you so much. Love y'all. If you run from the work, you might as well hide from the money. Keep that boss mentality. Peace.
Look, this for all my boss babe. Go do your boss babe. Loving how you boss babe. This for all my dreamers and my doers and all the entrepreneurs. Just believe in what you're doing and pursuing them. This for all my boss babe. Go do your
Boss fam, really quick, you have got to start automating your sales process. I know you love your cleaning business. This is your baby, but you can't do everything. You're trying to run a business here. So automate your sales process so that you can have more time to close deals and grow your cleaning business. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're the CEO. You are a small day-to-day task. And if you don't know how to automate your sales process, I have a guide. So go in the link in the description and download the guide. That way you can start automating the sales process and start growing your business and working on your business instead of in it. Love you guys. Keep that boss mentality. Peace. I specialize in coaching and consulting for new and aspiring commercial cleaning business owners just like you. My goal is to equip you with the tools and the knowledge you need to thrive in this competitive industry. I come up with a custom plan for you and your business. Best practices, marketing strategies, and industry secrets, and anything else you need to get ahead. You're also going to save a lot of money by avoiding costly mistakes by learning from someone who's experienced and who's done exactly what you're trying to do. Book a one-on-one session with me, and we can help get your business to the next level.